Do your views on love converge or diverge with what is socially acceptable as love?
God damn, that's a deep one.
I'm the question master. Remember this. Oh, this is what
That's
I
a deep,
do.
golly. I would say so I'm a Gemini, right?
Hmm.
And I don't really believe in astrological signs and zodiacs and all that stuff.
Hmm.
But sometimes I think it kind of true because I feel like sometimes I have two different brains.
Okay.
On one hand, I think a lot of my beliefs about love converges
Hmm.
with society. We should probably define converge and diverge.
Well, for converge, I mean, like, is it something that's almost always socially acceptable in the realm of love, and diverge is like things that people will be against, like not against, but there'll be issues like homosexuality or polyamorous or things like that.
That's what I thought. So, okay,
Yeah.
cool. So I think for the most part, well, I think I'm 50-50.
Okay.
On one hand, I think that a lot of my beliefs, because I was raised as a Christian and all that, a lot
Hmm.
of my ideas about relationships is convergent with societal norms.
Hmm.
Like I want to be with one girl, etc. A lot of times. But then on the other side, I'm also divergent in terms of like, I don't know, man. My dad was a Rolling Stone, you know what I'm saying? He have a bunch of kids with a bunch of women all over the planet. And I could kind of see that in myself. Like I want to be with a bunch of different women and have a bunch of different, but the problem is with me is because I'm afraid of STDs and STBs, I don't do it.
Yeah.
I go against my like natural instinct because I don't want to catch anything.
Yeah.
But to be honest, I would probably just be sleeping around if I could. Um, and then on the other hand, like I'm married, so that's like me following the convergent path, and I'm happily married. Like I don't have any complaints. I don't want to cheat. I don't want none of that stuff. But
Hmm.
on the other hand, if like my wife was okay with me getting another wife, then I would definitely be down with that because I down with it. Like we don't joke around a lot about like both of us marrying Chloe Bailey
Hmm.
and Diana. My wife is like she would marry Chloe Bailey, and I'm like, baby, I support your decision. Like I ain't going to say nothing, but if she ever tell you that she want to be with you, I'll she could be your wife,
Oh
and I gonna
man.
be your husband. Like I gonna just be on the side. Y'all could just use me whenever you're ready.
Oh
You know what I'm
my
saying?
goodness, you wildin'. But I think that sleeping around doesn't really fit, but what you just mentioned would fit. So sleeping around would still be like dating, but being married to more than one person would be what would be divergent from what's acceptable.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, I would. I mean, even when I was growing up, so this probably goes into my first love story, but I once dated someone, my first love, and she was Rastafarian.
Mm.
Uh, and she was okay with me having her as a wife and other people as wives, as long as she was the first wife. That's what she told me. She was like, as long as I'm the first wife, you can have as many wives as you want.
Okay.
And I was like, cool, cool. But, that didn't work out. But
Mm.
even since from back then, that's like when I was, what, 19 or so,
Yeah.
20,
Yeah.
I had the idea of being okay with it. And also, another thing that you mentioned is like open relationships, I think would be a part of it.
Hmm.
So I have been in open relationships before,
Hmm.
or at least, if not knowingly, unknowingly. I think they call that cheating, but
Yes, definitely.
there has been times where I was messing around with other people, and the girl was also messing around with other people,
Mm.
and both of us was doing it,
Yeah.
but neither of us letting the other person know.
Mm.
And usually in those situations, when I find out, I'm like, oh, I don't care. Like I was doing it too, so let's keep going. But
That's
then
crazy.
usually the girl is like, nah, you cheat on me, so we done. I'm like, but you was doing it too, so what's the problem?
Man,
So to
man,
me, like, I would be okay with open relationship as long as it's okay, as long as it's
mutual.
mutual. Yeah.
Yeah. I feel like I've always leaned towards unconventional in all things that I do in life. So especially with relationships and things like that, I don't know. I feel like I did everything wrong because I didn't know how to communicate what I wanted and what I was actually doing. But I would be open to having an open relationship in a marriage, and I don't think I know what I am or what I want to be yet. So I don't know. Like we talked about marrying each other before, and that's something that I would do, you know, not just for kicks and giggles, but actually do it. But we would still be open. So like that's like a double whammy right there. And it's like I don't know. I don't ever think in the conventional ways of love. And I think if I knew how to tell people that, it'd be a lot better.
And just to clarify for the audience, right? Uh, my best friend and I, we love each other a lot. Not in a romantic way, because there are different kinds of love,
Hmm.
different types of relationships as well. You have family, and then you have friends who are so close that they become family,
Hmm.
and that's what we have. So when we spoke about marrying each other, it was the idea of, well, we love each other, we get each other, we don't have any issues, we pretty much on the same exact wavelength, then why not? Like, it
Yeah.
does make sense. Yeah, we wouldn't be physically intimate with each other, but that doesn't matter because we could just both, it would be open, we could just date people that we are
Hmm.
willing to be intimate with physically.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I still think it's a good idea, but I know in society it's probably like, oh, y'all gay, or
Hmm.
like I feel like people would think that, but that's not. And one, nothing wrong with being gay. Like maybe we bisexual. I'm
Yeah.
not. I
Hmm.
tried, didn't work out. But but
Yeah, that's too open right there. Now you just have a whole backstory people gonna be thinking about now.
I mean, I could tell a story one day, but I
Yeah,
did
yeah.
try, didn't work out. It was horrible.
Oh my
Never would
gosh.
try. Uh,
Mm,
I have told people the story on like individual occasions, but I
yeah,
never actually told it to y'all.
yeah.
Um, what was I saying? I think society would think that we're gay and stuff, but I mean, I don't think there's anything wrong with like a platonic marriage, and that's what that would be
Yeah.
basically.
But people marry trees and stuff, right? So like, what's the difference? Yeah.
Don't compare
Let
me to a
me.
crazy person, please.
Oh man, let's see. Can I? Yeah. Tree marriage is a form of symbolic marriage between a human and a tree that is said to be infused with supernatural life. It can be a form of proxy marriage in which a bachelor marries a tree and becomes treated as a widower when the tree is felled. A style is required in some cultures to allow him to marry a widow. Like there's actually a thing about this. And this is what you say, like love is just weird. It's so dynamic.
That's true. But wait, so he have to be a widow to marry a widow. So he marry a tree first, cut it down, and be like, "Oh, I'm a widow now. I can marry you." That's what he's saying.
I uh, I don't know. Let's see. I don't want to donate. Stop. Oh my gosh.
You ain't doing anything to no trees, bro,
No, 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 no.
unless you marry it first.
I hate when sites want you to like donate or turn off your ad blocker. No. So, well, I can't find anything in depth right now because it's just a regular search. But this woman marries a tree to save it from getting cut down. Had a whole wedding.
Yeah, that's weird. I mean, I don't want to. Let me stop. I don't want to judge anybody for having different beliefs or views or ideas about
Hmm.
stuff, but I am judging. Let's just be honest. I think that's weird. I don't think you could marry something that cannot consent. That's really my issue with it. If you
Weird.
can't have something verbally consent in a way that you could actually understand, I don't think you can marry it.
I like this. No, stop. What's this? Okay. This podcast is I like what it is right now because I just looked up the weirdest things you can be married to. This is a segue, but it fits. So David Sirkarski married a burrito.
All right, guys, that's the end of the show. The level of crazy is too much. I have to log off, guys. I'm
Oh
sorry.
my goodness.
So wait, what is
He said it was stressful seeing everyone around him getting married. Then they had babies. And the only thing he had was his job. Now he's not alone anymore. Oh man. Alright, next. Number two. Dave Cat married a doll. Oh my goodness. Number
like a
three.
blow up doll?
Yeah, well, the doll for stuff.
Yikes!
Erica Eiffel married the Eiffel Tower.
And change her last name. That's
Yes.
deep.
Uh, Now she has a relationship. She has a relationship with Lance, her competition bull that helped her become a world class archer. All right. Kevin Nadal married himself. Tracy Emin married a rock. A Japanese man married a hologram. Pascal Selick married a duvet. Aaron Chevernak married his smartphone. Yeah, okay. Okay.
So I find some of this kind of problematic in a way, only because I know, like, for same sex marriages,
Yeah.
people will use the same arguments like, oh, like the definition of marriage is uh, legal union, spiritual union, whatever, between a man and a woman,
Hmm.
right? And I want to be very careful in my definition of marriage because I don't want to say like these people getting married to these things is dumb because marriage is this definition or that definition.
Hmm.
All I want to say is marriage has to be between two consenting adults, two consenting. Because if one party can't consent, then that means they cannot get married. That's how I view it. So to me, marrying all these inanimate objects don't make any sense. How would a burrito tell you it gave consent? Like in a marriage, both people have to say I do.
Yeah.
How a rat gonna say I do? Like that don't make any sense.
It's just weird, man.